Welcome to day 107.
Yeah. Not a borrow for a bit. We're out here now, but I'll walk her later.
He must be super fast. He said he was going to try to do that.
It's 5:30 and we are back on the AT. Come 1.3 miles.
An hour in.
Look at the mountains and look at the clouds just rolling over the top. It's pretty awesome. Pretty cool.
yesterday. What a view.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the visitor center that we left this morning.
So we're 2 hours in on the side of Wildcat Mountain. We've come about 2.4 miles, and I think we've climbed about to the 3,600 foot point. So we got about 400 feet to go to get to the top of the mountain. It's supposed to be the steepest climb of the day, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier going after this. That sucked.
We're at the Carter Notch Hut and just stopping for a snack. It's taken us 5 hours to get here, and we're still, I think, 7 miles from our the shelter where we're gonna spend the night tonight. Woohoo!
Yes. Good work.
Can you believe we've been at this for 9 hours? Let's find out how far we've come.
9.2 miles in 9 hours. Lots of elevation and some pretty technical climbing. But we're cruising now.
So what did you think of those Wildcats?
Yeah, we have Wildcats for breakfast.
Wildcats for breakfast, tagline for the day.
Yeah. We were warned in advance that this was going to be a very, very difficult day, and the day did live up to the reputation. But in our favor was the fact that we took a 0 yesterday, so we were rested. We had good rest, pretty good rest, because we stayed in a hostel last night. We were well fed, and we started very early, so we knew we had the gift of time, and we started out fresh. So the Wildcats, problem was when we got about 3/4 of the way up, the way we were getting up was pretty sketchy. There was a section where there's this big dome of rock, and we were free climbing. And there was no base to the rock. There was nothing below us.
We
So-
should describe the Wildcats to you, though, because without context, it's hard to understand what we did. So they're a string of 5 mountain peaks. And the first stretch to get up to the ridge line is a 30-degree incline. So it's not vertical, but it is very, very steep. And a lot of it is hand over hand climbing. And that's the description of this dome of rock that's just kind of jutting out into nowhere.
So normally people would use technical ropes to do this kind of climbing. We were free climbing, so we had no safety equipment.
But we followed the Appalachian Trail, followed the actual trail, and we made it up safely.
Yep, we summited both Wildcats before 11, and then we descended into Carter Notch and had a nice snack, and then and that descent was pretty
That was tough.
tough, but not nearly as tough as what was to come later.
So when
We
you
climbed out of that. Now that was great because that was just hiking up a steep hill, hiking, not hand over hand climbing. So that next 1,200 feet was not so bad.
Yeah.
By the way, the climb out of Pinkham Notch to the first Wildcat was over 2,400.
Right, it was pretty steep.
Yeah.
And a long climb. And out of Carter Notch, you end up on a ridge line that's basically the Carters.
Yep, the Carter Dome.
Carter Dome, South Carter, Mid Carter, North Carter. And then there is this stretch that we just completed about an hour ago. And it is described by one of the commenters in Guthooks as a controlled fall. And it is the steepest descent I think we've done so far on the trail.
It was the most challenging descent we've had so far. Maybe it will stand as the most challenging we have on the whole trip.
Lots and lots of slippery rocks, lots of vertical climb. We came down about 1,800 or 1,900 feet, and most of it was done in about 1.5 miles.
Yeah, and the rocks were slippery. It was tough to find handholds. We were stowing our trekking poles. I was trying to climb down backwards, just get a good grip on the rock on some little pinch hold, and then fumble around with my feet until they were secure. 3 points of contact the whole way, and just crawl my way down these cliff sides.
The views, though, are epic. I mean, we can see 5 or 6 mountain ranges off into the distance, particularly from the peaks. What was interesting today is none of the peaks today were above the alpine zone, so
Yeah.
you didn't have a rock to climb up on. You were not going to get a view.
The fun thing was we climbed with Sam, also known as Slowest Molasses, but you can call her Sam, and we hiked,
Hiked
yeah,
with-
climbed with Raptor, and so we've been hiking off and on with them for a few days, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's been
To-
fun to get to know them, and it's
Yeah.
been fun to hike with them.
Yeah. I'm sorry there's no animal footage today. We didn't even hear birds singing, and I saw some slugs, but I've already photographed slugs, so I decided not to bring you more slugs. But that was it. There were no animals out there
no,
today.
we saw that one chipmunk go racing
Yeah,
across
he
the-
was too fast for me.
But today truly was about climbing and hiking. And if we weren't paying attention to where we were putting our feet, we would have been in big trouble.
Tonight we're at the Imp Shelter, and we've come down the slope a little bit from the shelter, and there's a big, beautiful view ahead of us, and it looks to be like a pretty nice night, but it's very, very windy, and the tents are to be set up on platforms. We just decided to stay in the shelter and save ourselves the work of setting up on a platform, and also because it's so windy, it'll be quieter in the shelter than it will be out in the tent. Temperatures are very mild and very nice. We're looking forward to a good night's sleep tonight.
Thanks for joining us.